Hi, and welcome to Ticket to Life. This is Henry, and if this is your first time listening, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ticket to Life is about anything and everything about life. And today we're going to be talking about cruises. I know I'm going to jump right into it, but I do have a disclaimer before I start anything, and that is I am not a doctor, I am not a therapist, I am not a life coach, I am not a love guru. I am just Henry, and everything you hear are my opinions, and if we use any stories or names, I always change the name to protect the innocent. I do have a special guest with me today, and his name is Jeff, and we are going to talk about cruises. So welcome, Jeff. Welcome to Ticket to Life.
Thank you so much, Henry, for having me.
Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Jeff. He is a travel agent for
Christy Len Travel.
And how long have you been doing this?
Oh, about 8 years.
Wow, that's a long time. So do you enjoy doing it?
Yes, I enjoy doing it. I started pretty close to after I retired.
Oh, okay. And what got you motivated to do something like that? Were you just interested in traveling?
My wife.
Oh, okay. Is she a travel agent?
She was.
Oh, then you took over the business.
We pretty much... Yeah, I took over the business. Yeah, no, she pretty much got interested in it and thought it'd be a good thing for both of us to do when we retired. And we started doing it, and then she was in it for a few years, and then she got kind of busy with all sorts of other stuff. And
okay.
I just went ahead and kept doing it, and here we are.
So, did you have to take some classes to become a travel agent?
Yeah, you sure do. You've got a lot of learning to do. There are constantly certification courses you have to
really?
take. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Depending on what type of travel you're doing, whether it be cruises, whether it be all-inclusives, whether even the different hotel and resorts, parent companies, they'll all have training sessions for travel agents.
Okay. How about, what is, I know this is a good question. What is the hardest trip you've ever had to book that you can think of?
Oh, wow. There we go. The hardest one. The hardest ones generally are the ones where you get that phone call and they say, hey, I want to go on a trip. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, where would you like to go? Well, I don't know.
Oh.
Well, how much do you want to spend? Nah, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
So some people call, they have no idea where they want to go, how much they want to spend. They just want to go.
Exactly.
Okay, so do you offer them ideas, or do you give them, do they like the beach, or do they like it cold, or what do you do?
That's exactly right. You try and narrow it down. Are they looking for a cruise? Are they looking to go to the Caribbean, to Europe, to Asia, to Australia, to the Pacific Islands? You try and narrow it down to find out about where they want to go. And from there, you can narrow it down even further. But I think one of the biggest roadblocks we run into is people don't have a budget for a particular trip. And you can get trips that are bare bottoms on the rock, cheap, or you can get some very, very nice extravagant trips, and you got to figure out about what price range they're looking at.
Oh, okay. So do you do cruises, I guess? You do? Yes. And do you like cruises?
Oh, I do.
Well, we just went on a cruise this past year, and it was great, and we had such a good time.
Where did you cruise?
We went to
Western Caribbean?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Costa Maya and Cozumel.
Yeah,
it was great.
The Yucatan Peninsula over there, it's beautiful.
We went with my sister and my brother-in-law. We had a great time, and we plan to do it again in November. So we're really excited. I think the best part for us, it was you felt like you were at a resort on the water. And we've done cruises before, but we had done them with our kids, so it was totally different. And it was just great because no, well, no, we love our kids and everything, but they're adults and they have families. But it was just nice, the adults, and just like I said, it's like a resort on water, and it was wonderful. So, what do you suggest for the first time cruiser? What do you we're like we were in a suite, a junior suite. It was great.
Yes.
And what do you suggest, let's say for a family, would you suggest a junior suite or one of the, because we used to do the lower level with the four little beds for our,
right.
with our family.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you've got the interior rooms, which are, of course, in the center of the ship. And back years ago, that was it. Just it. You go in there, it was a small room with four walls around there. You had no view, no nothing. I mean, you had a nice bed. It was a nice, decent room, but there wasn't any windows or portholes you could look out of, anything like that. But nowadays, cruise ships are, at least, they're putting up high-definition TVs on the walls that broadcast a picture of what you would be looking out a porthole.
oh, that's cool.
So you're watching the islands go by, you're watching ships go by on the TV. It's a lot better than sitting there with the blank wall.
So do you remember, I know that they had the drink package, they have like special dinner packages, and the Wi-Fi packages. Do you recommend everyone get those, or
You know, it on both those, it depends on the individual. You've got people that drink more, and when I talk about drinking, I'm talking about both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. They've got drink packages for just non-alcoholic beverages, your sodas, your non-alcoholic drinks. And you can get all-inclusive where you pay one lump sum and you get all those drinks that you want. Same goes true for the alcoholic beverages. You pay one lump sum and it's all the beverages, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, you want for the length of the cruise.
did y'all feel safe on it? Did you feel safe? Like,
On the ship? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
okay.
The cruise ships are made now that they're bigger than, well, the first cruise ship I ever went on was back in the 1960s.
How old are you? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
In the 1960s with my family, and it was a much smaller cruise ship, but we sailed from San Diego, California to Sydney, Australia.
For vacation?
No, we actually moved there.
Oh, okay.
And that's how the family traveled down there. Of course, all our furniture and all that was shipped separately, but that's how we got down to Australia. And as a kid, man, it was great. We had a blast on that ship.
Oh, I bet.
And it's a lot different than they are nowadays, because there was stuff to do on that ship, but there's a lot of stuff to do on.
Because now they have like kids clubs in different age groups
They
for the
sure
kids
do.
and teens and stuff,
They
right?
sure do, yeah.
So what do
Yeah.
you recommend for, let's say, adults that want to... So did you do that Royal Caribbean?
Did Royal
or
Caribbean and
Carnival? What's
you-
the other one?
when you sailed on your cruise, it was here in Texas, right?
Right, we went to Galveston.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in Texas, and myself too, it's just a 5-hour drive down I-45 and you're at the port. And you sail out of Galveston on whatever cruise ship. Usually, I think you were on Royal Caribbean, correct?
Correct.
And they've got a couple of different ships, and every now and then they'll change which ships sail out of Galveston. But yeah, I'd be hopping a ship from Galveston. That way you don't have to fly in, you don't have to spend extra money. In fact, from Dallas, you can get down there in 5 hours and leave early in the morning, and you're there by the time it comes time to board the ship.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, how is it like the process? Like, you go to the airport and it's you can get very anxious at the airport, because I know I kind of get anxious at the airport, just having to check in and then go through security and all that. To me, that sometimes is, and then once you're past all that, it's like, Then you got to walk, 5 miles to your your gate
Yeah.
or whatever. How is the process getting onto the ship? Is it just as hectic, or is it smooth, or like what
Well,
happens to your luggage? You keep your luggage, or what happens? I'm like the step by step. I get out of the car, I'm going to the ship. What do I do?
okay, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
On the last Royal Caribbean cruise went on down in Galveston. We got to the port. Of course, we stayed, when we went down there, we spent the night in a hotel down there and just kind of enjoyed Galveston. Did a little shopping down there and walked around Seawall Boulevard and the Strand shopping area. And
It's
then
so
the
much
next,
fun there.
oh, it is.
There's so
it's
much
a lot
to
of
do.
fun. And then the next day, the hotel had a shuttle that took us straight to the cruise terminal.
Now, do most hotels have shuttles, or do
No.
you need to call around?
You
or
need to call around.
Is it the bigger hotels that have the shuttles?
Yeah, our hotel was the Holiday Inn on the beach, and they had a shuttle that came by. In fact, the shuttle which is full-size bus basically, came and picked us up and stopped at, I believe, 2 other hotels right nearby and picked up other passengers going on the cruise, and took us straight to the cruise terminal. And Royal Caribbean's got a brand new cruise terminal there in Galveston.
Oh, nice.
And they parked probably 100 feet from the doors leading into the terminal. You get off, porters come out. You can either check your luggage yourself, or you can give them to the porters, and the porters take them on in. But once your luggage is checked, or the porters take it, you go on into the terminal, you go up an escalator, you're upstairs. And I know Royal Caribbean for a fact has a very good system up there for getting passengers through security and onto the ship as soon as possible. And I think from the time we parked the bus to when we actually walked on to the ship was maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. So they've got a smooth transition.
Oh, very smooth.
Oh, that's nice.
And
nice.
it's not stressful at all. I mean, there are a lot of people, but they've got it down. They space out when all the passengers have to be there and at specific times.
Okay, so now my next question is for first-time cruisers. You get on the ship, then what do you do? Because are the cabins ready? How do you get your luggage? Because this is, for me, since I've done it before, and you obviously, I'm curious to, like, what happened, because I know a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to let go of my luggage, but, they have to. So how do they get to their room immediately? How to get their key?
Well, actually, you could actually take your luggage with you up through security.
Oh.
Goes through the metal detectors, and it goes through the x-ray machines, and you can lug it on board with you and carry it up yourself. I don't recommend that, but if you want to do that, you can do that. Otherwise, they recommend you put all important things, whether it be your money, your passport. Of course, you have to have your passport, but into like a carry-on bag, and have that carry-on bag with you. Depending on when you check into the ship, your cabin generally isn't ready for probably an hour or so, hour or two, depending on when you check in the ship, because the check-ins usually start about 10 a.m. and go through to about anywhere from 1 to 2 p.m. So if you get there in one of the late boarding times, your cabin may be ready, but chances are it won't be, in which case you go on board the ship. The main buffet, the Windjammer, is always open right then.
Oh,
You can go up, get
nice.
something to eat. Most of the bars on board the ship are all open then. You can go grab a drink. You can sit down. You can walk the whole deck. If you've got your suit packed in your carry-on or wearing it under your clothes, go to the pool.
Oh, that's
Enjoy the
awesome.
pool.
That's great. So you can basically just get on and just start your cruise immediately, even before it's even left the port.
You sure can.
That's awesome.
You sure can.
Now, what about the beverages? Are they serving beverages at that time? Notice
Yes,
I keep
they-
bringing up the beverages.
Yeah.
The
the
important things here.
the beverages, yes. If you like, I generally get a drink package. The drink package is available. and of course, you can go and pay cash at the bar, or you don't pay cash on board the ship. I'm going to start off with that. When you make your reservation, you give them a credit card, and they link that credit card to your boarding card or your door key, so to speak.
So do you have to keep that card with you at all times?
You have to keep it with you if you're going to be going in and out of your room.
Okay, and that's also your key. So it's your key,
exactly.
And if you go to a restaurant there that's not free or whatever, then...
Yes, everything will be charged to that card or to that key. And
the shops, if you go to the shops also, you just show them your card. And
exactly.
It's awesome. So you don't need to worry about carrying cash or...
The only cash I would recommend you take, and all these employees on these cruise ships work extremely hard for their customers. And they get paid. However, even when you're booking the cruise, you can prepay gratuities. But it's always very nice to have tip money. And I've always believed that, as hard as these people are working, to have small bills on you to where you can, if you've got a bartender or you've got a server or you've got a room attendant that's doing a good job, hand out some bills.
Oh, okay. Now, they have a casino on the ship. Now, how does that work? Do you use your card for that too, or do you use cash?
Yes, the card can be used for that too. The casinos are not open when you're in port.
Okay.
So whenever you're in port, those are closed down. Of course, you can go, like I said before, you can go to the bars, you can get a drink. The full drink menu generally is not open. You can get...
Before you leave when you're on the port.
Yeah, when you're at the port.
At the port, yeah.
They've got a limited drink menu, but from what I found on there, it's more than enough for most everybody. If you want some very high-end drinks or some very complicated drinks to make, then it probably won't be available until after you sail.
Okay, well that sounds like fun. Now, what is it that they have for the kids? Do you know offhand, like kids clubs?
They've got kids clubs that are grouped by age range. So for the younger, even toddlers, they've all got their own individual section. Of course, it goes all the way up through teenagers.
Oh, okay.
Up to, I believe, about age 15.
Do you know if there's a curfew for the kids?
I believe there is.
Oh, that's probably a good idea, because my daughter, when we took the cruise, she was MIA for a while, and
yeah,
and
kids,
Dad had to go look for her.
Yeah, kids, you're on a ship, so there's not a whole lot of places to go.
Yeah.
But kids do like to explore. So and the ships, depending, like I said, I've really enjoyed the smaller, older ships, like Mariner of the Seas with Royal Caribbean. I just, to me, I just prefer that size, the number of people, that kind of thing, as opposed to your very big, high-end, newer ships that are coming out. But I'm eventually going to try one of those too and see how it is.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
So the one thing I need, what about the entertainment? Is it just for adult entertainment, or do they have kid entertainment? What do they have? I know that
most of the entertainment on the ship is open. It may lean, there may be some at night, especially later at night, that may lean more towards adult audiences. But there are programs for I believe on Mariner they've got the ice skating, and that's of course open to everybody, families and anything. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody. Now, a lot of parents like to get away a little bit from the kids.
Right.
And there are areas on certain ships that are pretty much adults only.
Oh, that's smart. Is there smoking allowed on the ship? Or
generally not inside the ship, no. There are generally smoking areas on the ships, but inside, especially not in the cabins or anywhere else inside the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about in the casino?
In the casino, yes.
Oh, you can, because that you have to have smoking in the casino.
That's one of the
I'm
Vegas
not a smoker,
rules, I
but
guess.
it's a
Yeah.
Vegas rule, right?
But I think you'll, even in Vegas, when we've gone to Vegas, that's becoming less and less attractive to people. And in fact, there are several casinos in Vegas, Park MGM, for example, that is completely smoke-free.
Favorite. That's my favorite.
Yep.
But I think you know that.
Yeah, you look like a Park MGM kind of person.
And for the listeners who listen to the podcast for almost the past 4 years, well, we've started with year 4. Jeff is my husband, and I've mentioned he is a travel agent.
I am. When did that happen?
So I thought it would be kind of fun for us to get his viewpoint on a cruise, because summer's coming, and with summer coming, I think if you're not sure what to do, I think it would be a lot of fun to really look into that. And the other thing is share with everyone about their seasonal, like when we went on Carnival for Halloween.
Okay.
How much
yes.
fun that was.
Now we have sailed Carnival, and you got to remember too, each cruise line has a different vibe to it. Carnival is it's going to be less expensive. There's a younger crowd on Carnival in general, and we went on it probably the end of October of last year, or year before last, I'm sorry. And we went the end of October, which included Halloween. And I'll have to admit, Carnival does a really good job with celebrating Halloween, because they really encouraged people getting dressed up. And I'm not talking just, a Happy Halloween t-shirt. I'm talking full costumes. And they had the main stage down there filled with people in costume that they were doing a contest. Yeah, exactly.
Costumes, yeah.
And that was a lot of fun to watch.
And when we went, there were kids, but there weren't a lot of kids.
Now, it depends on the season that you go.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going on a cruise in the middle of the summer or during spring break, you can imagine there's going to be a lot of kids on board the ship. If you went, we went in January, and there were kids on board, but you really didn't notice them.
It's so big, and I guess because of the kid clubs and that kind of thing. So, on that note, so any more cruises in our future?
Oh, yes, there is, as a matter of fact. How about November?
I'm in. I'm definitely in.
Now, I mentioned before about seasons. We've done a couple of cruises in January, and it seems like, especially like April, tends to be your rainy season in certain parts of the Caribbean. I know we had a cruise that was canceled 2 years ago, because in January also, that was because of bad weather out in the Gulf. So this one is going to be in November, down again, going to the Western Caribbean. We just like sailing out of Galveston because it's very convenient. So we head out of Galveston, go on down there, catch the ship, head on out for 5 days, 7 days, whatever I've got us booked on.
Well, the great thing, if you've ever traveled on a cruise ship or ever been to Vegas, there aren't clocks.
Yeah.
And you have no idea what time of day is, and it's truly a vacation. It's awesome. You literally enjoy yourself a lot. Now, if someone were wanting to contact you, do you just do people in Texas, or can anyone in the U.S. call you, and anyone around the world call you and say, hey, I want to book a trip?
Anybody that wants to book a trip or a cruise or anything like that, I do a lot of all-inclusives in Cancun and in the Caribbean. I've done a lot of cruises. I've sent people to Europe, to Italy and Australia and Ireland. So if you're interested in a cruise, just shoot me an email.
And the email is
Jeff, Jeff, .KL Travel all one word, kltravel@gmail.com.
Okay, say it one more time.
Okay, how about Jeff dot K as in King, L as in Lincoln, travel @gmail.com.
Okay. So if you are interested, you can always contact Jeff that way, and I will also put the email on the description for this podcast. And Jeff, thank you, my love.
Oh, my
And
darling,
I'm
anytime.
always telling y'all how wonderful he is, and I don't know why he keeps me around, but he hasn't traded me in for the Vegas showgirl yet, so I think we're good. But anyway,
I'm allergic to those feathers.
you're funny. Okay, well, just a few more things to talk about before we end Ticket to Life, and that is, wait, Jeff, I want to ask you one more thing, and then I'll get to the finale of our show. But Jeff is a retired police officer, as you all know, and he has a lot of history and stories. Would you be willing to come back and sit with me and tell us some of your police stories, one or two that are just really made an impact in your life, or maybe not, if you don't have to, if you don't want to, but we do sleep in the same
Sure.
bed, so I watch a lot of Dateline.
Yeah, I know. And Snapped.
So I would love to have you back. And the most important thing for all you people who love to grill or love to smoke meat. Jeff used to cater, and he is an avid barbecuer, and I don't know if that's a word, but he barbecues.
I love my butts.
Yeah. Would you come back
Pork
and
butts.
do another podcast? At least 2 different ones, and then I will never bother you again. I'm lying. I'll just keep bringing it back. It may become the Ticket to Live Henrie and Jeff show. But would you come back and do the talk about barbecue
I sure will.
and why you started?
I sure will.
Okay, well, great.
You know it.
Well, we definitely need to start ending this. And looking forward to the summer. I have some other guests set up coming. That WDJY 99.1 FM in Metro Atlanta, Georgia have set us up with, and I'll give y'all more information on that further when I get more information. And also I'm hoping that my friend on mental health will be here soon, and we can do that interview so that it will be an understanding to you and others who might need a little help with that. So until next week, this is Henrie. And remember, wherever you're going through, you are not alone. And please, please, please go find your blessings. I'll be praying for you. See you next week. Thanks for listening.